S.K. Agrawal ji, Divya Khosla ji, Dr. Dhruv Chaudhary, and thank you and all the doctors and maybe the students. So thank you, Dr. Dhruv, allowing me to present or talk in front of so many senior doctors. So first of all, I would like to say, see, we need to change our mindset. Today, even from Rohtak, I would like to tell you from our company, our fasteners were landed in Chandrayaan and Mangalyaan. So we also have to change our moonset mindset. And today we are not born to die. वो हर मंदिर में जाओ, हर पंडित में जाओ, वो कहते हैं कि भाई आपका जन्म तो मरने के लिए हुआ है. And whereas they give an example कि the sharks in the Antarctica live for 200 years, the whales in Greenland live for 500 years, the trees in the forest live for 1,000 years, and we humans have the same DNA. So why can't we live for thousands of years? And it is just because we have made our mindset कि हमें तो 50-100 साल जीना है. So probably that change of mindset has to come. And for that, first of all, everywhere I am advocating that the first action that we have to take is in our life is for climate change. And we have to make our personal scorecard. And in my factory, see, I have 1,500 people. And what we have done is, I have started to pick up the wet waste from those 1,500 houses. Because I saw that even people at their house are not putting their dry and wet waste. It might be looking as a small point, but we are taking and we will be collecting the plastic, the computer waste and the wet waste, and will be making a compost. So I encourage everyone that the environment should be their first priority, and that also includes the doctors. And of course, when I say that we have to live for 500 years, we have to say no to sugar, no to oil, no to salt, and plant-based diet, that is vegetarian, fruits, millets and the whole grains, and exercise with muscle training. Still, I find that a lot of doctors sitting here, they might recommend exercise, but they don't recommend the muscle mass training. And today we can say that, there is a biological age, but I don't believe in that. There are tests who can also tell you the biological age. They say the heredity only accounts for 7%. And of course, other than that, you have to have proper sleep, mental health, and there are tests now, you can also do your biological age. Of course, we need strong social connection, alcohols. Today, there are also several supplements, I don't have to tell here, and which can also help you to improve the longevity. And I also read that metformin and pepamycin probably should also be taken as supplements rather than, and it helps you to increase the longevity. Now coming back, that I was detected was lung cancer. Of course, the day it happened, I just went for a routine checkup to positron. I used to get my last 7 years. I used to go for an ultrasound for my legs so that there is no clot here, for the abdomen, for the carotid vessels, and I used to get my stress echo done, so that at the elevated heart rate we could see that whether my blood flow is right or not. I exercise probably 1.5 every day, so I am still overweight. Now I went to this positron, all my tests were okay. Dr. Bamal was there. I said, Dr. साहब मेरे को आज थोड़ा सा कंजेशन है, तो उसने कहा मैं एक्सरे करता हूँ. मैंने कहा डॉक्टर साहब एक्सरे में कुछ नहीं आना, आप मेरा CT करिए. And the CT was done, and there was a node, a 10 mm node in my lung. And then we got curious. I called Dr. Arjun Arula, probably he's sitting also here. And luckily he was keeping my earlier records with him. And I had a CT scan done when there was a COVID. I had a 4 mm node, and that went unnoticed. I had a PET CT for prostate in January 2022. That went unnoticed. And then we saw that this is a growth is there. And then I started to contact doctors. Of course, I contacted Dr. Dhruv, as we still consider him as the #1 doctor for pulmonary in the city. And we went to Medanta, and right away we also consulted a special radiologist, intravenously, and he says, okay, I'll do a CT guided biopsy. But with the CT guided biopsy also you have a problem of pneumothorax. And I was not very much in favor that directly we do to that. And then I again talked to Dr. Dhruv Chaudhary. He says All India Medical Sciences has the new bronchoscopy, robotic bronchoscopy. So he arranged my biopsy in All India Institute, but unluckily the biopsy there was not successful because they still don't have the unitative robotic bronchoscopy. I spoke to the doctors at the Sloan Kettering in America. I have been going to that hospital since many years, and they said that you come over here. I went there, I spoke to Dr. James. He says that even if your earlier biopsy is failed, I will still recommend that you go in for a biopsy, because I just don't want to go in for a dissection or if it is not a cancer. So my biopsy was done there, it was positive, and then on the same day he took the chance to book the operation theatre, and 14 days later to that my surgery was performed. 16% of my lung was taken away. There was no lymph nodes involved. It was stage 1 and adenocarcinoma, and I was treated. So what I would like to tell here is that I heard the two doctors, probably I came late, that we don't go to the gold standard. We are still struggling. CT करवा लें, PET CT करवा लें, और उसके बाद बायोप्सी तक जाने के लिए हम शायद 2, 4, 6 महीने लगा देते हैं, 1 साल भी लगा दें. I would recommend, of course you are senior and you know more knowledgeable, that we start jumping biopsies, ultimately the gold standard. The earlier you do the biopsy, the earlier it is diagnosed. So whether it is cancerous or not cancerous, it's still going to help you. And one thing, when I met Dr. James here, and he says, Rajesh, I am nothing. It's my team. I could be the best surgeon, but it's my team that has performed and that brings success. At this Sloan Kettering, they have operation theatres that after every surgery, it is given to the independent cleaning agency that sanitizes. So the chances of infection are minimal, and they have the operation theatre looks like a big theatre where probably you see more instruments and more connected. So I would say that this is what is needed also here. And then after when I came back, in fact I stopped by in Switzerland, and there is a Zurich University. I also consulted an oncologist there, and then he recommended that you should go in for every 3 months CT scan. In fact the protocol in America was every 6 months, and he also told that please go in for MRI. From the lung cancer it quietly goes to the brain. So I also found that they have very well written down those protocols, and it helps, and that MRI is also recommended. And now in fact I am consulting. I was again visiting in May and June to America. I got a CT scan done. I again visited the doctor in Switzerland. He says every 6 months do a PET CT and then alternatively a CT, because sometimes even the CT does not capture it. So this is what I would say, that of course I would still say